Suge wasn't happy with that. I said that we got into a verbal conversation about me leaving. And the only thing that Reg said I was not telling the truth about was that he pushed me back onto the rocks because I wanted to leave. And I'm not, even back then, and that was what, 25, 30 years ago. I'm
holding court, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down?
I mean, as we're talking about, the abuse of women from men and powerful men, you were trending again here. You came up as a topic on the Bomb First podcast. Shout out to John and Reg.
The Bomb First.
Bomb First podcast. Yeah. Shout out to John and Reg. Right. So they caught wind of her, of our interview, from 4 years ago, of her talking about Suge pushed her down at a video shoot. Now, Reg, he pretty much said, yes, I remember her. She was there, but he refutes the fact of her saying that she actually got pushed.
But he did not put his hands on that young lady. And if he did, trust me, she would have been suing him. Y'all can see she's a vocal lady. Don't seem like the type of lady they're going to be letting nobody put their hands on her and push her and all of that. So I think she's lying about that. But everything else that she said did happen. So shout out Big Court.
So I want you to.
Here's what bothers me about that. First of all, he validated every single thing that I said about the aggression that was on set. The reason that I left the set, I left the music video set. There were other scenes in other places. I did those scenes. I was in the video as a music video vixen, whatever they call them right now. By the time we got to what I thought and probably was the last location, which was the beach, just to catch you up. The sun's going down. The things are changing. There's now alcohol on set. And at the time, I didn't drink at all. But that's not I don't care what you do. Yeah. Unless it affects me. So there were other elements on set. There were different women on set. There were not just the video girls that were hired. There were other people on set. It was getting, for me, not the best environment. So I chose to opt out. I chose to leave. Now, your friend is Reg, that's his name?
Yeah, I don't know him personally.
But not the person that was doing...
Yes, Reggie Wright.
Yes, he validated everything that I said. He said, yes, everything did change. People started drinking. The total environment completely changed. I was the girl that was hired that I chose to leave. When I was leaving, I think it was unexpected. So Suge wasn't happy with that. I said that we got into a verbal conversation about me leaving. And the only thing that Reg said I was not telling the truth about was that he pushed me back onto the rocks because I wanted to leave. And I'm not... Even back then, and that was what, 25, 30 years ago. Tupac been dead 25 years. Yes. So it was 27, 28 years ago.
He been dead longer than that.
Yeah. So this was a long time ago. Yeah. I'm still not a person that if you confront me, I was not going to bite my tongue, even though that young. I wasn't going to bite. So I said, I want to leave and I'm ready to go now. I don't care if you pay me or not. Those are my words. I said, you don't need to pay me. I've done the other scenes, but I don't care. I'm leaving. It was... you shouldn't leave, blah, blah, blah. It was Tupac that came to the sort of the rescue, that he was like, if she want to leave, let her leave, because he was standing in front of me. What he refutes is that he said everything that she said was true until Suge pushed her back. He said put his hands on her in the interview. That is almost indicating hitting. Yes. I never said that.
We know the connotation.
He pushed me. Yeah. The connotation. I said he pushed me back onto the rocks. That's fine. I got up and I decided to leave, but I had to walk up a hill. Yeah. He yelled out, I'm going to get my homegirl to come into the valley, because that's where I live, to beat your ass. Reg agreed. He going to get a girl on a girl. I never spoken to this man, Reg, but he knew the truth. That's what he said to me. I'm clearing that up, that I never said he hit me, but he did push me back. And so to say that I'm lying about anything is the only thing that pisses me off, because that was a true story. It happened. And then there was something in the comments about, why didn't she press charges? Why would I press charges? Why did I know to press charges about anything? I was walking away. It doesn't matter at the time. Maybe I should have. I probably could have had assault charges. But who am I going to ask? A bunch of drunk people in the video shoot that's working for him?
And I hate that they always put this on women. Ask the men, why don't y'all press charges? You know how many men victimize men all the time? Other men be scared of men, but you don't be pressing him. Why don't you press charges, bro? Because y'all going to make fun of each other.
Exactly.
You're going to make fun of each other. Exactly.
I'm not saying, I think if women are hurt or injured or anything, yes, if you want to press charges, you do your thing.
For sure.
I didn't know what I didn't know back then. I probably still wouldn't have pressed charges, but I would have retaliated in a whole completely different way. What I did at the time was walk away. I went and got in my car and I drove home. I didn't ask for no money. I didn't ask for my pay that I was entitled to. I didn't ask for anything. I left the situation. I took that memory with me and said, whenever I see myself in what I feel like is an unsafe or uninteresting situation, I'm going to walk away. And I've kept that that whole mindset. But I didn't like in the comments, well, why didn't she press charges? Why wouldn't she file assault charges? What happened?
Right.
Why would, and then it's crazy because it's like if I start peeling back the layers of your life, I can pin out a whole bunch of situations that you shoulda, woulda, coulda, did, whatever.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Exactly.
Right. So why? I mean, the thing about it is with Reg, and I know he's gonna watch this and see this. The only thing that makes it a little weird is the fact that he admittedly said that Suge beats his. You know what I mean?
All of them.
And he, or he will put his hands on a woman, but to make it so far-fetched that he would push you down when he has a slew of assaults on many people,
She was magically exempt.
Right.
It was magic.
That part,
I believe in magic.
that's the only part I'm like, come on, Reg,
He literally contradicted himself a little bit. He tried to make it right by saying he only hits women that he's in a relationship with, but I didn't say he hit me. I said he pushed me.
Yeah. Who was around when he pushed you? Like who
Everybody
saw that?
Not Pac.
Okay.
He was, that's what I believe, and I can't confirm this because he's not here, but I believe that's what, he was at a distance away. This was on the beach. I believe that's what it made him walk toward me, because he said, if you want to go, you can go. Like, he was good with it. He was like, you're clearly like, this is not okay for you. Even though, like I said, all of the people were drinking.
And you said Pac said that.
He did.
Okay.
And I said, I want to go. And I'm going. Like, it wasn't a question, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I believe that's what made him walk forward. So he was not standing there at the time. To be honest, there was women around. I can't remember everyone that was standing there. It happened. This was 28 years or whatever it was, many years ago. But it was a one-on-one in my mind. I'm standing on, that's where I'm standing where I was supposed to be standing, on the rocks. That's where I was placed in the video. We were shooting. And when he walked over and said what he said, and I said, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
And so it was a one-on-one between me and him. I didn't recognize everybody else that was around me, but there were other people around.
Do you remember seeing Reg?
I have no memory of that man.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I would like to.
Yeah.
Because he did agree with everything else that I said.
Yeah, he
said it. And I would like to remember him. But
I believe he was there because he described it kind of the same way as you
he
did.
He absolutely did. And I believe that he was 100% there. He was probably in close proximity because he remembered everything.
Y'all said the same thing.
We did. So and I never spoke to him a day in my life, and we said the same thing. So I do believe that he was there. I believe that he remembered all of that or most of it, but I don't remember him, no. But there was a couple of people standing around because we were in the midst of shooting. And it's when I saw what I saw, I said, it was on a cut, so it was in between takes. I didn't ruin a take because I wouldn't do that. But I said, I'm going to leave. This is not for me.
Yeah. And what was kind of funny, too, just on Reg and John, you kind of laughed about it. They used a screenshot to paint the narrative. They caught you right when you were like in the camera. I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like,
yes.
And I know John did that. I'm like, what?
Like a narrative, like it's all good.
Yeah.
We had that was not the scenario in that sense.
Right.
That was me though, and it was all good.
No.
But I said I was there to do a job, and I was doing my job until the environment changed. And when the environment changed is when I said, I'm going to opt out.
As you should have, because then if you would have stayed and been victimized by God knows what, then the burden still would have been on you and you would have been penalized.
Yeah.
Why you're grown, why didn't you leave?
Right.
Yeah.
And you always have to tread around, especially as a woman, you always have to tread around the pathology of a man. Oh, is he rejection sensitive? Oh, is he ego sensitive in this way? Is he, it's a constant
You have
battle.
to navigate just
And let me just say this. And I said to Suge, and I think this is what he didn't like. And I said, I don't want no money. You don't have to pay me.
That's his power.
And I had already worked.
Yeah.
I had already worked the whole day. And I want to say it was a 2-day shoot, but I cannot be sure because it was a lot of years ago. But I had worked the whole day. This was the end of the day. The sun was setting, as you can see, even in the video that he played. Sun was starting to go down. It was later in the day. I said, you don't have to pay me nothing. I just want to leave. That was my priority.
Why is that so triggering?
To whom? Then?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why you got
so triggered by
In
that?
which video was this?
Toss It Up, apparently.
Toss It Up.
I didn't even remember the name of the video. It was when you sent me that thing. It was Toss It Up. It was on the beach. And I don't know that it ever came out. We saw the clips.
Toss It Up did come.
Did it come out?
Think so.
I have no idea.
I can't remember what video it was.
I said, it's fine to cut me out. Whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a screenshot, so maybe I'm not cut out.
What's up, y'all? This is Rachel Renee from the Holdin Court Podcast. And if you're feeling this episode, check more out on the OG Network app, which you can get for free in your app store. You can also catch us on Roku, Fire TV, Google Play, and Apple Mobile.